guys, it's me, Schlee. Welcome back for another MRE video. Today we have another gift from Amber. This is Meal Cold Weather Menu Number 6 Seafood Chowder. Amber very kindly bought this for me after I said I wanted it because I have heard so much about this menu. I believe it's widely renowned as the best MCW menu out there. Here's the thing though, I don't even really like seafood, so I'm hoping I will like this. I have very high hopes for it. If I don't like the taste, hopefully my enthusiasm will be enough to cover that up. I don't want to say too much right now because I'm super excited, so let's go ahead and open this up and see what happens. Some of you may have already noticed this is open already. That's because the package it came in was damaged and the outer package was a little bit damaged. So I just opened it myself to make sure everything was okay when it arrived, and it was. Let me show you guys what's in here. First thing we have is our main, the seafood chowder, the famous seafood chowder. Then we have our accessories packet, which I'll open up later. We have a marble pound cake, which should be really tasty. Next up we have two drinks. We have beverage powder lemon lime. Oh wait, this one isn't a drink. This is soup, noodles, ramen, instant chicken flavor. Okay. Never had this before, but some hot chicken soup sounds really good today. And last but not least, we have some vegetable crackers. Oh, I almost forgot. Beautiful brown MRE spoon as well. I will definitely say this is one of the more unique rations I've ever had between the seafood chowder, the soup, the marble pound cake. I think this is going to be delicious. Let's go ahead and get the main rehydrating first. And I learned my lesson from last time, cut it across, not down, to make it easier for yourself. By the way, I hope you guys like this sweater. It's one of my favorites. It's not even rehydrated yet, and it's already looking pretty good. So just like last time, I'm going to add 16 ounces of water, about 3/4 of a canteen cup, in stages so this can rehydrate and stay hot. Oh, and a tip I learned from a very wise, grumpy Marine, James, if you're watching, that's you. When you're rehydrating stuff like this, put it inside a canteen cup so you don't burn your fingers with the boiling water in the bag. This is definitely starting to smell seafoody. I've never had a chowder of any kind. I do live in North Carolina, which is a coastal state, but I don't live on the coast. Okay, that's going pretty well. So I'm going to close this up and pin it with our standard MRE issue clothespin. And now we wait. Let's open up our accessories packet next. Bill's Brew freeze-dried coffee, toilet paper, creamer non-dairy dry, some matches, moist towelette, sugar, a perfect little tiny Tabasco, and some chewing gum. Next up, let's make this beverage base powder lemon lime. That ended up being only a little bit chunky, so I'm going to call it a success. I'm going to give it just a final stir with the spoon to help dissolve any of the little bits that are left. The color is quite lovely. It reminds me of the Incredible Hulk or Pond Scum. Cheers! This tastes very much like a flat knockoff Sprite. And that's not meant to be insulting, that's actually a compliment. Sprite was my favorite soda when I used to drink soda, so the fact that this tastes anything like that I think is a good thing. It does have a little bit more lime flavor, I believe, than Sprite used to, and it has some added tartness as well. I mixed this with the full 12 ounces of water this time, and you can really tell a difference. It's not nearly as strong as it is in the past when I make it incorrectly. Next, let's make our soup. I have never seen this in a ration before, so this is very exciting. Add 8 ounces of hot water to the fill line, close the zipper, and wait about 5 minutes for it to reconstitute. Perfect, I had just enough water for that. This didn't say to give the bag a shake, but I'm gonna give it the old 1-2 just to be safe. Okay, now I'm gonna set that aside and just let it reconstitute. Yeah, I'm gonna put it in this mug so it will sit up. Perfect. Now let's check on our chowder and see how it's doing. I can tell the corners especially are still a little bit dry, so I'm gonna add some more water. And this is looking really thick too, so I just think it needs more in general. Okay, I think that's about right, so I'm gonna pin it back up and we will set it aside once more. We still have a minute or two to go on the soup right here, so let's open up our crackers and our pound cake in the meantime. Our crackers are definitely a little worse for wear, but that's fine. They will still taste good, and I was just planning to crumble them up in my chowder anyway, like seafood crackers or oyster crackers. Date code was 2319 for anybody who was curious. Let's have a little taste of our crackers just because. Those taste great. They're super fresh. They have that added layer of flavor that the vegetable crackers have. I really like those. They'll go great with the chowder. Let's check out our marble pound cake. I don't see a date code on this one, but I'm assuming it's around the same date as the rest of the ration rather. This is a chocolate and vanilla marbled pound cake. And it's looking great. It is so moist and soft still. And it smells really good. It smells so chocolatey. It's not time for dessert yet though. It's actually time to check out this soup. It's still really thick, so I'm gonna add a little bit more water. And there it is, our chicken instant ramen noodle soup. It smells really good. This looks really good and like it rehydrated perfectly. There's the noodles. There's also some peas and some carrots in here. I did go back in once I poured out all the soup and I put a little bit of water in the pouch and shook it up just to get the rest of the flavor out. As y'all know, I'm not afraid of flavor, so I don't want to waste it. Okay, let's give this a taste. If you've had chicken flavored instant ramen before, you know what this tastes like. I can't say it's very exciting to be honest, but it is delicious. One thing that really sticks out about this to me is it's not overly salty. A lot of ramen is just loaded with sodium. That's not the case here. It's very low sodium actually, respectively. The chicken flavor is very strong, very authentic. The vegetables are a little bit crisp still, not unpleasantly so, and if you added more water or let this rehydrate longer, I'm sure they would soften up more, but I do like the added texture. The carrots have a very good, strong, sweet carrot flavor. That's a great addition to the chicken flavor. I don't taste the peas too much, to be honest. The noodles are so soft, but I really think this is delicious. Oh, there's some corn in here as well, right there. That's probably adding to the sweetness along with the carrots. This is really good. This is actually one of my favorite things I've ever stumbled across in a ration. There's a couple things I want to do with this chicken soup before we move on to our main. So first of all, I want to put some crackers in here and see how that is. Chicken soup and crackers is a classic. The crackers go okay in here. Really, I don't think that ramen chicken noodle soup and crackers go so well as like Campbell's chicken noodle soup and crackers. It's not bad though, and you could definitely eat it that way. For me though, I like the plain soup better. The veggie cracker flavor just doesn't jive super well with the chicken ramen flavor. That's my biggest problem. I am gonna add a touch of Tabasco to this just because I can. We spiced it up, so let's see how it is. The Tabasco does add a really nice spice. Like I said before, this is just your absolute basic chicken ramen, so a lot of people would appreciate the Tabasco to add in some spice here. For me though, I'm gonna go with the original. I'm gonna set the soup aside right now, and it should be about chowder time. Okay, I think this is ready, so I'm gonna pour it out on the tray. Okay, there's our seafood chowder. I did give it a final mix, and as you can see, this is a huge portion. It completely fills the main compartment of this tray. It's literally overflowing, but there is so much goodness in here. I can tell you right off the bat, they did not skimp on anything in this portion. I've never had a seafood chowder like I said before, so I did have to check the ingredients on our little packet here. We have some milk, potatoes, cream, clams, butter, clam broth, anchovy. Says there's also some shrimp in here, celery, white pepper, bay leaves, thyme, Worcestershire sauce, garlic powder, sugar, molasses, didn't see the molasses coming, some vinegar, and some other various spices and seasonings. I have had shrimp before. I have never had oysters that I can recall. I've had scallops, so maybe they're kind of similar to that. This is going to be another great instance of an MRE helping me to expand my palate. All right, I'm dying to try this. So let's go ahead and get a bite here. There's an up-close shot. Here's to hoping I like seafood. In all honesty, it's really good. Wow, I am highly impressed with this. The broth is super thick and creamy. It's not grainy or separated or anything like that. It's very smooth and homogeneous, and it has great flavor. You can taste the cream right off the bat. I'm assuming this is the clam broth I'm tasting. Like I said, I've never had that before. It, to me, tastes a lot like chicken broth with that underlying sort of fishy flavor that seafood has, and that's not meant to be like a jab. That is just my honest description of it. It's tasty, I do like it, and I feel like the butter flavor also comes through quite well. This is just so rich and creamy. The pieces of shrimp and clam in here are really well rehydrated. They're very soft, a little bit chewy, but they're not tough. I believe that's a piece of a clam right there. Don't quote me. Well, if this is what seafood chowder is like, I'm gonna have to start making this myself. The potatoes in here also have great flavor, great potato flavor, as you can guess. They're in little cubes and they're really soft. Honestly, you barely have to chew them, but that helps to thicken the broth and add flavor to it. And the potatoes with the seafood is a great combination. And this is seasoned perfectly. All the herbs and spices they put in, I think it's in the exact perfect proportions to this size of a main. I am happy with this, so happy with this actually. I can totally see why people who have eaten MCWs say this is the best one. I can't say it's the best though without a little modification. So let's throw in some crackers. There's our bite with the vegetable crackers. The flavor of the vegetable crackers blends really well with the herbs and spices in the chowder, and the crackers add that perfect little bit of crunch. Like I mentioned oyster crackers before, they do the exact same thing here. Yeah, the crackers, they go so well, and you could even, if yours weren't broken, scoop up the chowder with those if you wanted to, but I figure most people will crumble them up into the chowder like you would oyster crackers. Pairing those two together in this ration was a very well thought out move. I would like to say good job to whoever did that. Now, of course, let's see what some Tabasco does to this chowder. I really don't think this needs spice at all, but okay, that's a lot. I really don't think this needs spice, but I'm willing to give it a try just to see. Spicy seafood chowder coming up. The spicy seafood chowder is really good. I'm gonna have it on a cracker. The Tabasco works so well in this chowder. It goes way better here than it did in the soup in my opinion, because the chowder has that really rich creamy base, and that gives the spicy Tabasco something to sort of melt into, and you get a mixing of flavors as opposed to the soup that has a very basic, I don't want to say weak, but not very authoritarian flavor. It's just a little bit of chicken soup flavor. So the Tabasco is quite overpowering there. But with the chowder, the Tabasco is like in the passenger seat of like a van full of 20 different flavors, as opposed to being the driver and the only person in the van. I don't know what kind of metaphor that was, but this is Schlee's highway of life, and that's how we do things here. I would definitely recommend add a little bit of Tabasco to the whole thing and then eat it with the crackers. That's the perfect way to do this main. So good. I would actually love to finish my main right now, but it is time for dessert. So let's try out this marble pound cake, which is looking all kinds of luscious. There's a shot of the inside. You can really see the layering there. It's quite pretty. And this is super soft. Let's try it. That is so rich and chocolatey and really buttery as well. The vanilla pound cake base is super flavorful, so much vanilla. It's quite sweet, very moist and buttery, as I said, and then it has those chocolate swirls running through it. That is some delicious chocolate. It's so rich. It's almost like a dark chocolate, I think. But because you have that really sweet vanilla pound cake, it doesn't overpower anything. It's not too dark. That is a flawless combination. It's so good. This one is, I think, a little heavier on chocolate than others I've had. But that probably is just, distribution of the batter. As someone who loves chocolate, I am not sad about that at all. And the vanilla flavor is still totally discernible. It's not hidden. It's just a great mix. I really, really like that dessert. Okay guys, that is it. I have tried everything on my tray in multiple different ways. As always, I hope you guys enjoyed watching Schlee's adventures in the MCW world. I'm gonna go ahead and finish this off camera now. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye guys!